hall like an amphitheatre. It's very popular among Australian players and Australian fans, and they have packed it out here. So, Putintseva at the top of your screen, she has been asked to serve to get us underway. We have Coco van der Wey with us courtside at the moment. What do the conditions feel like down there, Coco? Nice and warm?
I'm going to turn out like a tomato, I feel like. That's my prediction in this match. I'm definitely baking in the sun. Both of these players, as you said, 70 degrees out here, but it certainly is a baking sun.
Rallies continue like this, as may well be the case, because they're both quite happy to stay behind the baseline. Then both of these players are going to be working up a sweat as this best-of-3 match winds out.
Well, at 5'4", it's not the biggest serve in the world, is it, from Putintseva? So she's got to rely on variety.
Both players have a lot of tricks in their bag. A lot of court craft rather than just pure power. Yes, not the strongest of services, but some crafty stuff there. Fading away from the right-hander, just 138 kilometers per hour, and it's a hole to 15. So she was asked to serve, and she's fulfilled her end of the bargain.
Just looking at her results coming into here in Brisbane. But the third round, it took Sabalenka to beat her, Putintseva. And in Adelaide, she beat Vekic and Onjabeur that week. Lost in the semis to Pegula, who was a shock victim, wasn't she, a little bit earlier yesterday, I think. Pegula lost.
So it's always good to see the win predictor at the start of a match like this. 55-45 in favour of Putintseva. I wouldn't have been expecting that one. Threw me a bit of a curveball there. There. Maybe the win predictor had a look at the fact that last year at Wimbledon, Yulia Putintseva defeated Iga Swiatek, and maybe that's really, that sort of played a joker on that one and said, right, I'm going to double my points here, and that'll get the win predictor in my favour, because that was a huge win for Putintseva.
You can see how Putintseva plays well on the grass court, can't you? She's got the slice, she handles it well, she's got the drop shot. And so they're the types of things, that variety makes up for her lack of stature and the lack of power. But as Jasmine Paolini Well, she showed us all last year that you don't have to be 6 foot tall to be effective.
Liz, as someone that's 6 foot tall, I thrived having that advantage. Both of these women definitely have a lot of punch to their game, but they are counter punchers at the end of the day. They don't really generate their own power as well. They like to use their opponent's power, so it's definitely going to be a cat and mouse game out here.
Not the best of starts for the number 9 seed. Usually, if you elect to receive, you're trying to put your opponent under pressure, and Putintseva certainly served out. No pressure whatsoever. Kasatkina now 2 break points against her. And there we go. It's a hold and then a break for Putintseva. Maybe the win predictor knew something that we didn't know all along. So, Putintseva, after getting an early break, she goes on to win the set 82% of the time. The average is 76%, top 100, so she's certainly got the wind in her sails at the moment.
She didn't want to come in, did she, Kasatkina? But she was forced to. And she ended up hitting a pretty awkward sort of looking drive volley where the ball was dropping, and look, she got away with it, but
she was trying to dominate the point without really forcing the issue.
Well, ideally you'd like to be in a little bit quicker so that drive volley is shoulder height rather than knee height.
Well, the old adage is it's not a break unless you hold service afterwards and consolidate. And Putintseva finds herself love 30 down. How about that for a drop shot? Absolutely perfectly executed over quite a high part of the net, but it just died on the other side.
Going to get a good look at the disguise here, and that's what is so advantageous, to be able to take that other hand off with the backhand to just hit the slice, come underneath the ball.
So it's break, hold for Putintseva. She leads 3-love in the first sit down.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The players are ready.
Kasatkina now needs to get on the board sooner rather than later. First double fall to the contest for either player. Kind of rally that Kasatkina needs, I think, to get herself into this match.
Kasatkina doing a better job there in that rally, just forcing the play just a little bit rather than being a counter-puncher, you know, as Coco said, which is where she's comfortable, so knows that she has to force her way into this match at love 3.
Two-handed backhand paints the line there.
Certainly flattened this one out, didn't she, Putintseva? Look how that left hand really took over and just dragged the ball back into court.
Wide ball toss there from Kasatkina, so Putintseva could see where that ball was going to go, out onto a forehand wing. Couldn't take advantage of it.
That's a great follow-up, isn't it, from Putintseva? The drop shot, yeah, not a great one. Kasatkina really didn't do enough with it, but then absolutely just ripped the next backhand.
First juice of the contest.
I like that play a lot more from Kasatkina going into the forehand of Putintseva. She's not really able to get the same pop off of that wing, so you're a little bit more protected, and plus she doesn't drop shot as consistently as she does on the backhand. There's a lot more variety on the Putintseva backhand that you have to protect.
The idea was there, we could see it coming, but the end result is that Kasatkina, the number 9 seed, is finally on the board. She gets a hold of service. Wasn't the easiest, had to go via deuce, but she is on the board.
Love 15.
Well, we're 20 minutes into this match, and the number 9 seed is yet to hit a winner. So the happier of the two Italian coaches, both players have Italian coaches, and the happier of the two is going to be Matteo Donati at the moment. He's in Yulia Putintseva's corner. Better there from Kasatkina, hitting deep up the middle.
It's like Coco said, you know, Putintseva just doesn't have that shot when she's rushed. When she's rushed on that forehand side, she has trouble, Putintseva.
Well, she still hasn't hit a winner in 20 minutes of play, Daria Kasatkina, but this could be where she gets back into the match. She was broken early but now has a break back point. The rallies are getting a little longer. It's the first time that Putintseva has been under pressure on her service. The break back, real disappointment from Putintseva, but we are back on service in this first set.
3 games to 2.
A cabinet match that Daria Kasatkina.
So back on service. Wasn't the most convincing of breaks from Kasatkina, but she'll take that. She'll take it any way it comes. She found herself 3-love down early on. She hasn't really been hitting her straps. It's been unforced errors. She's a counter-puncher, we know that. At some point, she's going to have to hit a winner.
Thank you.
Just waiting for fans to take their seats after that change of ends. Calling that a winner. I am calling that a winner. She's on the board. She's got one.
It's good use of the court, wasn't it, from Kasatkina? Putintseva just pushed so far behind the baseline, just doing everything she possibly could to stay in the point until eventually that is the shot that wins the point. Yeah, it's Kasatkina making all the play now, isn't it? Had a bit of a slow start. Once again, though, going back into that forehand side of Putintseva. That's a good hold.
3 games.
Not that a hold and a break is... It's not going to be catastrophic for either of these two ladies today. You just feel like the serve is the least influential shot in this match, in fact.
Yulia just going over to her coach, getting some last-minute tips. He's asking her to get some more space from the ball, which means she needs to get some better footwork going, especially on that return. That kick is jumping. We know these courts are playing a bit slower, and that means the bounce is really going to be moving more than anywhere else.
much.
Kind of mistake that you don't mind seeing. She's been passive. She's very passive in the first half of this opening set. So it's nice to see her finally going for some shots.
Yeah, she saw it coming, Kasatkina. Good anticipation.
30-15.
Opened up the racket face on this forehand, but Kasatkina, she was on her way even before contact was made.
This is more like it.
Yeah, she's done a good job working her way back into this match, Kasatkina, after the start she had.
As we say, two Italian coaches on either side of the net here. Flavio Cipolla is Daria Kasatkina's coach. A hold for Putintseva, and now we're back into more of a holding pattern. Putintseva leads 4-3 in the first set. Kasatkina 3-4. New balls. Fans still milling around here after the changeover. A lot of them trying to sit in the upper deck here that's in shade. Plenty braving the direct sun. For world number 70, Flavio Cipolla. That's Kasatkina's coach.
Well, it all started with an excellent serve on that point there. Kasatkina out wide. She's not going to hit many aces, is she? But it opens up the court when she serves a serve like that. Next one goes cross court, the next one down the line. So good use of the court.
Again, good use of the court on that point. Sending Putintseva left and right. Good depth of hitting.
And also take notice of the heaviness of Kasatkina's forehand. It's really jumping, getting up above the shoulders of Putintseva.
Well, I guess when you're only 5'4", lots of things get up above the height of their shoulder, don't they, Coco? You know, it's not easy to combat that.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I did not live at a 5'4". I'm closer to the 6 foot range.
You'd have been 5'4" at some point. Cast your mind back a long way, I know. Not the best service game there from Kasatkina with the new balls, but she gets out of jail somewhat. And it's 4-all. Service isn't a weapon for either player, so both of them are going to be thinking that they can get a break at any time.
It is true that the serve is not a weapon for either player, but it tells you something about the rest of their game. You know, how they can still compete and be competitive, and you know, how they can be creative and use the other elements that they have to be competitive.
Yes, Putintseva has been in the top 50 for the best part of a decade without the strongest of services, so it shows the quality of her all-round game.
Look what she did last year in 2024, getting to the finals in Paris, finals at Wimbledon, and you know, people really should pay attention to that. Not just the spectators, of course, who enjoy it, but the players and the coaches. What you can do with speed around the court and variety.
A hold and a big punch of the fist there from Putintseva. She leads 5-4 in the first set. There's the mantra down here. Kasatkina, of course, serving to stay in the set here. You ask your opponent to serve first, then that's the risk you're taking when you get to the business end of the set.
Nice touch. Good way to finish the point.
She tried to finish it 1 and 2 shots earlier, and Putintseva just running back and getting every ball, but that was beautiful to finish it off.
She has to come in. You know, on a day like today, you don't want to hang around for longer than you need to.
Not for 28 minutes a game, as you were saying earlier. We'll not have that again. That one just clipping the baseline. Electronic line calling here, so you can't query any of the line calls. What you can do is ask to see it again, which merely confirms that the call didn't go your way. It's a good solid hold to 15.
5 games.
This, when you're getting towards the end of the set, this is where the pressure swings from one side of the court to the other, particularly when you haven't got big servers. Every hold is worth its weight in gold.
Julia not happy with the crowd, who are just coming down in her vision.
Yeah, it's allowed here at the Australian Open. It's not just at the changes of ends. Putintseva can get a little bit worked up about things. We saw that at the US Open last year. She's I wouldn't quite say it's white line fever, but there's definitely two Yulias, the one that's on court and the one that's off court. Positive there from Kasatkina.
You talk about Putintseva's sort of attitude on the court. That's one of the things, you know, when you're 5'4", that's one of the things that you really have to just use to your advantage and use just every element, not only physically, but every element of your personality. Coco, is she talking in English down there? Did you pick that up?
She yelled over at her coach, "What are you looking at? Just tell me what to do." The personality continues.
Whatever he told her, she did it.
It's almost John McEnroe-esque. She almost needs a bit of adversity to get herself going. It's not so much that she's actually this negative as we've seen from the US Open interview. There's definitely Jekyll and Hyde out there.
I think Novak may be the same.
A 26-stroke rally ends up with a leg cord that sets up a break point for Kasatkina.
30-40.
Both ladies are going to take the 25 seconds after this point, aren't they?
Putintseva break point down. Coco, I think you might have to heckle her just to rile her up a bit.
No.
Puts it away. There's the break, and Kasatkina will serve for the first set in 1 minute's time. Having been 3-love down, now finds herself serving for the first set. Foregone conclusion, of course, that she will serve this out. She was broken to open the set. As if to illustrate that, a rather loud double fault. So that is her third of the set.
Love 30.
Well, it looked like Putintseva was the aggressor to begin that point, but Kasatkina managed to wrest the initiative back.
And Kasatkina redeeming herself a little bit in this particular point after the opening 2 points of this game were pretty sloppy, really, weren't they?
Really fired up Putintseva, as we saw in the early going of that past rally.
That'll help.
Curls an ace just when she needs it the most. The first of either player for this match. It was just clipping the line, as you can see there. That's all it needs to do. 142 kilometers per hour, but if it's fading away from your opponents, then all about the precision. Back to 30 all. Was merely looking to bend down to tie up her shoelaces. She wasn't about to smash her racket, but either way, Kasatkina has a set point.
I know the fines used to be $2,500, but I'm not sure what they are now. Just saving herself a bit of cash, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Goes long from Putintseva, and Kasatkina has the first set in the bag. After 52 minutes, she takes it 7-5.
Thank you.
Great depth of defensive return there from Kasatkina.
That's the difficulty for Putintseva, though, isn't it? That point really does highlight it off that forehand side. Just can't generate the amount of pace needed to hit a winner. So the opponent can just keep getting it back to that side.
As illustrated there, and also the fact that she's once again serving to open the set, so under a little bit of pressure.
Doesn't like that racket. It's going to go for a new restring here.
Rips the price tag off. And then put it on her backhand, and she will find the corner.
You can flatten that side out. That's what creates the pace.
That's what she was doing well in the first half of the first set as well, using the geometry of the court. It's all about the new racket.
Yes.
Winner through the line from Kasatkina. Putintseva doesn't like the call, but of course it'll stand. Kashi just flattens that one out.
And it plumb on the inside of the line. It was more a case of, well, what can I do about that? Break point down. And that one just misses the line. And so there is the early break. Kasatkina is a set and a break up. 1-love, 1-love.
Finally you talk.
Your ears on the ground there, Coco. We heard "finally you talk" at the end.
Well, he was giving her a little bit of tactics, saying that you're not hitting the ball, and Yulia is responding back that she's opening up the court too much, meaning that Daria is getting her moving side to side and really using the angles of the court, and so she's not able to respond. it's going to be a tough problem for Yulia Putintseva to be able to solve, because it's not her natural MO to hit the ball, to be the aggressor. Both of these players, like we mentioned at the start, are counterpunchers, so they want to use the pace of their opponent, but Kasatkina has not been giving much pace in this match.
The statistic there that Kasatkina, when she gets an early break, converts it into the set 78% of the time, slightly above average. We saw that Putintseva was well above average. She was 81% of the time, so 4 times out of 5. But unfortunately for her, that first set was the 1 in 5 when she can't convert. Certainly swung into that one.
Well, at some point you have to throw a little bit of caution to the wind, don't you, if you're Putintseva?
The win predictor that we saw around 1 set ago, just quite early on, was 55-45 in favour of Putintseva. Now it's 90-10 for Kasatkina.
Funny thing, that.
So the service isn't a weapon, but if you can do that, swing it way out wide, then it'll be a match for most returners. She consolidates the break and leads 2-love. Need to hold here, does Putintseva, otherwise you get the sense that it might unravel a little bit more, particularly since she's down her coach's end, and she doesn't get a few points on the board early on, then there might be a bit of back and forth. She was the one opening up the court there, but right, Rodin's thinker.
Well, sometimes you get so furious with your circumstance and yourself that it's impossible to think clearly.
She needed that to clip the line. If that had gone out, then I think we could have been in for some histrionics, to say the least.
Or he could have been in.
Exactly, yes, yes. We're going through the 7 stages of losing a tennis match. We've had anger, maybe we've got acceptance or resignation here. She's not cutting a very happy figure down there, Putintseva. 2 break points against her. This would be for a double break. And that's a way to confirm a double break. A forehand winner for Daria Kasatkina. The number 9 seed leads by a set and 3-love. Everyone other than Yulia Putintseva, you would say, she is struggling at the moment, having been 3-love up in the first set. She dropped that one and is now 3-love down in the second.
And the confidence is just beaming off of Kasatkina. She's really just taking this match all in stride.
Heard of a commentator's curse? I think that was Coco's curse.
My head is in my hands. I felt the shame.
She's down your end. You can apologise to her.
I'm staying neutral. I'm staying neutral. I wasn't gonna get into Yulia's face on to get her amped up in the breaker in the first set, but stay neutral.
Kasatkina knows exactly what's happening here. I mean, apart from the tennis, she's looking down the other end of the court, seeing that Putintseva is just all at sea. She's giving herself a hard time.
A couple of double faults, both from the juice court. That one there was the second service there. Barely even made it to the net. It was no racket head speed whatsoever.
You could see the plan there, couldn't you, from Kasatkina, just hammering the forehand side of Putintseva until she got the opportunity to do it a little bit more and go up the line, and just overplayed it fractionally. Knows that Putintseva's not going to hurt her off that forehand side, and just comfortable playing that rally ball.
Juice here, so there's a sniff of an opening for Putintseva, particularly since that last service there from Kasatkina was 100 kilometers per hour. Tough for Kasatkina. You have seen this times during your career, Liz. It's the equivalent of playing someone who's injured, who she seems to be almost mentally scarred at the moment, and it's, well, I'm just going to hit and hope almost, and if it clips the lines, then great, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. There's the hold. It is just sort of, well, go for your shots so I can't run around, and she's not physically impaired. It's just, I can't move anymore.
Yeah, and if you're playing somebody like that and they have weapons and they come out swinging, that's a little bit dangerous, isn't it? But when you come to someone like Putintseva, you know she doesn't have the capability of reeling off a whole game of winners.
It's not Serena who's sprained her ankle and I'm just going to, if it's in my hitting zone, bang. Yeah. 4-love Kasatkina. Putintseva serving with new balls.
Love 15. Love 30.
As they say down here in Australia, I think it's gone.
Body language not looking good from Putintseva, is it?
Love 40.
Yes, and the crowd are going to rile her up as well. Worth a try. It was close. Kasatkina was wise to it, though. It's a break to love. Kasatkina will serve for the match in 1 minute's time. 7-5, 5-love. Kasatkina with new-ish balls. They've only been used for one game, and that was a break to love. Now serving for the match. So we've seen her service has been a little faulty today. 5 double faults, a couple coming in the last game.
15.
So I say that this match isn't over yet, but it's going to require a complete change in mindset from Putintseva. She's down the end where her coach, Matteo Donati, is as well.
Coco's point is so well made. You know, that you see a match like this and you know Putintseva can play better than this, don't we? But she's just, the anger is just all-consuming, and there's no tactics being thought about at all.
Nice rally.
That's the best point that Putintseva's played in about 25 minutes, isn't it?
13-15.
And still came out on the losing end of it. When you give someone like Kasatkina a set and 5-love, that's the kind of tennis that they're going to be able to produce. No holding back on that backhand up the line.
This is why there's always going to be a sniff of an opening. Double fault number 6 for the match. Number 3 in the last couple of service games from Kasatkina, 30 all. Gets a little bigger break back point. In the last game, we saw Kasatkina serving at 100 kilometers per hour just to get one in. That one was 115, and all she had to do was get the ball in. The crowd certainly like that one.
Advantage Putintseva.
Well, she's given herself a high hill to climb, hasn't she, Putintseva?
A set, love 5 and juice, yes. But here we go. Break back point. Paints the line. She has indeed got one of the breaks back. Nice to see the smile as well. Come on, Yulia, turn around, show the crowd that smile. Aussie's like an underdog as well. I'll get behind her here. So Putintseva now serving to stay in the match. I get the feeling that Kasatkina will be more comfortable returning, receiving for the match, since she's not served that well today. The crowd want to see more tennis and want this match to continue.
Well, she's having to play again now, isn't she, Kasatkina? You know, for the first 5 games of this set, she really didn't have to do that much.
No, it's, oh, hang on, we're doing rallies again, are we? Right, okay, reset. Well, that was her first double fault of the contest, and it sets up 2 match points for Daria Kasatkina. Finish it off with a winner. Daria Kasatkina, the number 9 seed, moves through to the 4th round. She's defeated Yulia Putintseva 7-5, 6-1 in 1 hour and 19 minutes.
The best you can do is win, isn't it? And Kasatkina, she did what she had to do to win today. After getting out to a slow start, she came back. And you can see how happy she is, really, to get this far in the Australian Open. She's never achieved that before here. And well done to her. Yulia Putintseva, she'd be a little bit disappointed with that. The win predictor at the beginning of this match wouldn't have said that it would have been quite as easy as that. But full credit to this lady. She's had some good form coming into this Australian Open. Again, the quarters in Adelaide. As we see Yulia Putintseva leave Kia Arena.